my friends Ren, who's one of the co-founders of Space.
Mm.
Mary.
It's amazing that they did this in like the Pride weekend, right?
Yeah, I think it was like a happy accident. It was good to be celebrating love.
I saw your outfit. You were on brand on both things at the same time. So it's like iconic.
If it's a wedding on Pride weekend, I am going full on in.
You're like an expert at fabrics. So it must be like quite easy for you, like decide what to get.
I like hate being indecisive. I hate just spending so much time at like a shop and stuff.
I need to get out of here and like wearing clothes constantly sweating, it's the fucking worst.
It's like, okay, you ready? You happy? Okay, let's go. We are both chronically procrastinating for so long, right? We were like, oh, we should do this thing. We want to have this, we have this idea. It's like a cool idea. We haven't seen anyone else do it. We spent what, a year, maybe a year and a half almost, talking about the theory of it, only for us to finally do it. And it was actually a lot less stressful, at least once we sort of, got it rolling. The first episode was like friggin' we've gotten a lot better at it. So in that sense, I think that's my first point of how we should have just started earlier.
I totally agree with you on that. It was like growing in our heads, but like mostly like the difficulties around it. And when we said, let's do it, it's like when you pop a pimple, that is about to burst. We were yearning to do this. It's like falling for a Wattpad character.
So what's that trend? It's like, I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. And then you do it.
The hardest part to describe is all the small things that no one knows until they do it. What theme are we talking, and how are we finding out and expressing our shared voice and vibe, keeping it authentic but making sense to people who watch. So I thought it would be less work, the thought around it, not the actual work, finding out new stuff that, oh, we can do this and we can optimize it this way. I feel we're growing so much through this. Always check up with each other and see what else we can do. It's hard to not have expectations, but the main reason we did it is gain confidence around who we are and, expressing ourselves.
We thought that the hardest part would be hitting record and being on camera. In fact, it was everything else that was harder and is harder and continues to only get harder, to be honest, but in a good way, because we keep challenging ourselves. We keep going, how can we make it better? How can we make it more entertaining? We're like, oh, that's content too, and that's content too, like all the time. Now, what's another thing? The sort of tasks at hand, the ones that we want to improve on in the short term, are a lot more accurate now, as opposed to before we started. We were like, there's this big, huge project that we want to do. We were tackling all these things that were coming at us left, right, and center. We were like, oh, how are we going to record it? Oh, what platform are we going to use? There were these big questions constantly that we had to answer. But now it's sort of like we have a system. We have a place where we brainstorm. We have a place where we record all our content, and we have a place where we have all our links. It's all like sort of starting to be laid out. So having those next things that we want to do is really interesting. And we just started at the most basic, simplest level of being on a Zoom call and just talking. I think just having that next step and having that sort of level up that we want to do is exciting as well.
It's the hardest thing to not try to have so much control over something that is just starting. I really, really enjoy that we are evolving slowly, and it's also much more manageable as well. I remember the first weeks we started just by doing it. It's like we constantly discovered new things, and it's like, oh, I also have to do this and this. And we were freaking out. And you told me by episode 10, this will all be super easy. And this is episode 10.
I didn't even notice. That's exciting.
We did it. I think it's big that we're now on episode 10. I feel we have been doing this for so long, longer
Mhm.
than we have because it has become so natural. But it's also so new. Our first recording was on April 8th, 2 days ago. It was like exactly 2 months.
Wow, that's crazy. It's already been 2 months, but it's only been 2 months. Like, I think
Mm.
it's both.
I feel based on our circumstances and the tools we have, the stable growth we have been having, both in like how to structure the ideas, communication, like really proud of us. I'm so happy we finally started doing it.
Definitely, definitely. It's been a lot of learning how to build something from scratch, right? There was like no one we had in like the immediate surroundings of us, especially in like, two people coming on and like chatting. There are a few podcasts where we're like, oh, we like their vibe.
Most of the time, it's people who invite guests, finding ways to have content or like to talk about things without having a guest is definitely harder.
No, yeah, I agree. Definitely, because having that guest is so beneficial. You can have those moments where the focus is off you.
Mhm.
So I would love for us to explore that down the road. It's something that will be mutually beneficial. So our audience, once we start growing it, will be able to find out and get to know other people, maybe in our community, maybe not even in our community, but also it gives us an opportunity to sort of reach audiences who aren't in our immediate
Mm.
community. It's a great way to connect with more people, but I definitely agree with your point on it being quite a different sort of format that we're trying to build and we're trying to do. So it's been a lot of sort of like back and forth between you and I, and we've been doing experimentations with like creating art, and there's limitations there, but it's definitely something we want to keep doing. I think we've finally gotten to a place where we're so much better at speaking and riffing off each other as well. When I first told one of my friends that flirting with the idea of doing a podcast with a friend, they were like, oh, what sort of equipment do you have? Do you have a microphone? Do you have this? Do you that? And I was like, yes, I do have most of those things, but we're going to be taking it one step at a time. We're going to be doing it, we're just going to start by recording. And I loved looking back on everything. I love that that's what we did. We just kept it so simple to start off with. It was just one episode at a time. It's like 1% every time that you need to just improve. For a session, we're like, okay, Zoom call. How do you record a Zoom call? And then from there, we were like, oh, we need a logo. We need to do thumbnails. We need to do, and then every episode would just add something new. And
Mm.
now we do like shorts as well, which is something new we've been doing for like the last week or so. And so it's just every week we've been improving like quite a lot of things actually. This is more of a message for people who are thinking of possibly doing something similar. It's that easy. You can literally just have a Zoom recording going, even if you're just doing it solo. Don't be like us and don't overthink things. So just start recording, and this is your sign to post your silly videos on the internet. It is life changing.
I couldn't agree more. True value is more important than having the perfect equipment, the perfect lighting. Before the podcast, we were talking about our own content, helping each other, and we were both overthinking, oh, I don't have a camera. And we were like already telling each other to just do it. So we were brewing it. Now we have merged our forces to promote that mindset. I think it has improved so many stuff in our lives in general. When we commit to something, and especially when it's a mutual effort, it's easier to have accountability. For me, it has helped me a lot to feel structured in my life. A very exciting and unexpected kind of therapy.
Yeah, 100% agree, definitely. Because if I had done this alone, just hypothetically thinking about it, I think I would have just been overwhelmed after the first episode, done like a whole lot of overthinking, kind of going, oh, no one's going to watch this. It's not good enough. Then I probably never would have posted it, and I would have spent like all this time creating it, and that would have been the end of it. But because we did it together, we owe it to each other rather than to ourselves. Like we do to ourselves, but more importantly, we're like, we have to do it for the other person, which sort of motivated us, especially at the beginning, to just keep showing up, to keep going. And that has just become almost habitual for us now. And of course, sometimes we're like, I'm so sorry, I can't record today, not feeling well, or I'm too busy. But most weeks it's been consistent. And even if we haven't that we've been doing, editing and like talking, and all of that has happened continuously throughout
Yeah.
that time. It's just been huge experimentation and I've loved it so far. And I think it's just going to get even more exciting and even more fun from here. So that's episode 10. If you're still watching, maybe podcasting is something you want to do. Maybe you're already doing it. Maybe we can collaborate. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. And if there's anything you want us to feature or talk about, we'd love to hear your feedback. So thank you.